agreed on this, of course, on this subject. The thesis consists of 3 chapters. The first one is a theoretical chapter and reviews the literature concerning the supply chain and the international aspects of supply chain, and of course the energy topic. The second chapter is methodological. The methodology used in this thesis is qualitative, so it's an overview of the qualitative approach used in this thesis. The last chapter consists of the presentation of the 3 cases mentioned by Professor Taracchini and about the details of the main conclusions about the analysis of these 3 case studies. That's all from my side. So Alessandra, I think that you can start. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I'm going to share my screen. Tell me if you see the screen.
Yeah, we can see the list of candidates.
Exactly. Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Alessandra Rausa, and today I'll present you my final elaborate. The name of my thesis is the Globalized Supply Chain Management in the Energy Industry, with an analysis of the 3 leading companies in the energy European market, RWE, Enel, and EDF. So, first of all, we will analyze the energy supply chain management with a classification of the energy based on its source, and also with a proposal of a model to manage the energy supply chain, that is the PDCA model. Then we will analyze the 3 companies, and finally we will see a comparison among them. So, first of all, the energy supply chain management is different from the supply chain management of a common company. First, because the energy is a perishable and particular commodity. First of all, it's a commodity that has as main characteristic the vital use for humans, and also the perishability of this commodity involve the management to take care of it from the production to the distribution. In fact, there is a high percentage of waste of this of the energy during the transportation. Moreover, the classification of energy can be based on its source. We have the primary energy that is characterized by the extraction process, and we have also the secondary energy that is characterized by the transformation process, like the electricity. Another classification is based on renewable and non-renewable energy. The renewable energy came from natural sources like sun, wind, or water. The non-renewable energy came from the sources that are present in our Earth in a limited quantity. Nowadays, the energy consumption is higher than energy production, and this is why all the companies, but especially energy companies, need to change, to restructure their way to produce energy. Nowadays we have 25%, as you can see in the graphs on the right, we have 25% of the energy produced by renewable energy, but unfortunately 50% of it is still produced by fossil fuel. So it's a very important challenge for energy companies to produce energy from renewable source, because it's very costly also, and it's necessary that all the companies use the adequate technology to reach the grid parity. The grid parity is the parity when the cost of producing energy from renewable sources is equal or minor to the cost of producing energy from fossil fuel. I propose you also the plan, do, check and act model that is established by the ISO 5001, and it promotes the continuous improvement of energy efficiency. In fact, this model is strategically adopted by companies that search a constant of productivity and cost reduction, and this model and the beginning of the application of this model, it's necessary to apply some energy audit. Thanks to the energy audit, it's possible to monitor also all the energy performance of the company. But more in particular, the energy audit is able to let the management know about the energy production and consumption of the different company areas. The first phase regards the plan, that is the identification of the problem. In the energy case, regards the establishment of the initial energy base and also of the energy performance indicators. But the most important aspect is to develop an action plan that regards the strategic and operational objectives of the project or of the application of this model. Then we have the execution phase. During this phase, there is the development of the energy management system, and also it's necessary to involve all the workers of the company through, for example, an energy handbook. Then we have the verification phase. During this phase, the aim is to monitor and measure the performance against the targets set in the previous phases. Finally, we have the standardization. This final phase, we review all the energy audit, and also the internal and external energy plan performance. After this model, it's necessary to apply also the SDCA, that stands for standardized, do, check and act, because when you achieve a result, it's also necessary to maintain this result. Now we continue with the analysis of the company. First of all, we have RWE. It is the second largest German electricity company, and it was founded in 1898. The customer base are mainly Europe and North America. Its supply chain is characterized by a centralized supply chain management. It means that thanks to this organization structure, we have each single business unit that is independent on the decision process. So this means that all the decision process of the company is much way faster compared to the other companies, and this business division is also responsible for the regional division, so it means that it's responsible for retail and distribution of energy. Moreover, the customer segmentation of the RWE is based on mass market or corporate account division, and the company adopts also the DSO, that is the distribution system operator. This distribution system operator is an independent figure from the company that is able to establish the operation, the maintenance, and the development of the system. The aim of the company is to be carbon free by 2040, and to reach this goal, the company is investing around 1.5 billion euros every year. One of the most strategic move of the company was the merger with E.ON, that is another very colossal in the energy market in Germany. And thanks to this acquisition, the company has 16.67% of participation on E.ON, and also it acquired the renewable portfolio of the company. The economic analysis of this company, we can see there is a decrease in the turnover, and it's due because German is trying to denuclearize all the countries. So for the company, there was a reduction also of electricity generation in all the technologies. The EBITDA also decreased from 2017, from 2008 to 2017, because during this year there is also a liberalization of all the European energy market, and it means that the competition is higher and the prices are balancing with the other companies. Moreover, we have the capex, that is the capital expenditure. We see an increase on this key performance index, because the company is investing a lot in renewable energy. Enel is one of the main global integrated operators based in Italy. It was founded in 1962. It distributes energy and gas mainly in Europe and Latin America. As we will see after, it opened a new distribution channel in Brazil. It was one of the companies that reached a lot of awards. For example, it was classified as one of the companies that changed the world for Fortune ranking, and it is also classified as one of the most active utility against the climate change in the influence map. Also, its supply chain is promoted as one of the most sustainable supply chain in the world, thanks to the presence of circular economy that permit the company to avoid a lot of waste, and also thanks to the adoption of supplier qualification system. This is a very important system because the suppliers that want to collaborate with the company need to agree with specific sustainable principles. Finally, we have the customer segmentation. Enel has the largest customer base in Europe, and it has also the largest integrated utility in terms of market capitalization in Europe. The economic analysis is very positive for Enel. We can see there is an increase more or less in all the KPIs, and for example, the turnover is 75.5 billion thanks to the revenues from renewable sources in Italy, Spain, North, Central and South America. Regarding the EBITDA, we can see that Enel was able to face the competition due to the liberalization of the energy market, and also we have an increase in the end user market thanks to the creation of a new distribution channel in São Paulo. Considering the debt, now we have an increase also in this value, but just only because there was the acquisition of the distribution channel in São Paulo, and also because of unfavorable effects on exchange rate. Now we have EDF. Électricité de France is the largest energy producer distributor in France. It was founded in 1946. As we can see in the graphs on our left, its energy mix is characterized mainly by nuclear energy, but the company is trying to convert and transform this energy in renewable energies. Its supply chain is characterized by strong vertical integration, differently from RWE, and it uses also a specific technology to increase the use of renewable energy. But it's for the company it's possible to pursue this way just only because France as country is promoting favorable regulatory and a good tariff regime. Also, suppliers must comply with the environmental sustainability principles of EDF as Enel, and also the company is pursuing a very strategic way of invest and finance its renewable assets. So the company is interested more and more in the financial market. The economic analysis of this company regards an increase in the turnover and an increase also in the EBITDA, and the EBITDA increased thanks to the high volatility of the market, and it is one of the companies that has a very huge social impact because increasing the use of renewable sources means also increase also the workforce needed to work in the sector. To conclude, you can see in the graphs on the right that among the three companies, EDF is the one that most efficiently use its production capacity. But we can see that RWE has difficulty to diversify its production capacity, and it's mainly characterized by the production of fossil fuel. But what we can see is that Enel is the most sustainable company with its energy mix characterized mainly by renewable sources, and also we can see that after the analysis I made before, it's also the healthiest companies among these three. So what I want to say is that probably it's the better way to produce energy from renewable sources, because it's very profitable also. Thanks to you for listening, and if you have any questions, don't hesitate.
Professor Bottani?
Yeah. Well, just to start the discussion, Alessandra, just a couple of comments. The first one is about the PDCA model that you mentioned in your presentation. Could you please highlight the relationship with your work? I know that your work is, as mentioned before, qualitative in nature, but PDCA is actually a methodology. So the first point is, could you please highlight this? And the second point, if I can, is about how can your study be improved? So can you see limitations, points that need further investigation? Could you please highlight some future research? Thank you.
Okay, so for the PDCA model, I think it could be perfectly applied to the energy sector, because it is based on what I said before, the ISO 5001 that is established by the International Standard Organization, and it was developed in 2011. This standard regards the energy management system, so it regards the energy efficient that has to be reached in all companies, but especially in the energy companies, because if you think about a specific building or equipment of an energy company, is also necessary that specific equipment has to produce more energy than how much is consumed from the same equipment. So what I want to say is this model can allow the management to know perfectly how much energy is consumed and produced by each single areas of a company, and in this way all the energy company can reach the energy efficiency that is the main aim of all the companies, but especially in the energy sector. And regarding the limitation, what we can see is that there are the direction of the production of renewable sources is going faster, but right now, with, for example, with the COVID or with other situations, there are some limitations of it, because investors are not very well allowed to invest in this kind of companies. So what I can suggest is that the governments need to help the energy companies with, for example, reduction in corporate tax rates, or for example with the low interest rate from central bank that permit the company to have more investments, because it's the main limitation, the liquidity. The companies need liquidity to continue this transformation in energy.
Okay, thank you.
Professor Messina? The microphone.
Yeah.
Sorry. It's an interesting topic and issue. At the beginning, you mentioned that one of the main results is the reduction in costs and the increase in productivity. Okay, and I got it. The other one is, at the end, workforce benefit. Given that I love the labor market, how can you explain me better these benefits for the workforce?
What I found is that there is this change in the production of energy that is related also with some investments in new area of a company, and these investments will bring some vacancy vacancy place for workers. So what the company will need in the future is a level of high skilled workers that will be able to give their knowledge and their expertise to that company. So in this sense, the energy company can create a new place for workers.
Okay, interesting. Thank you.
Welcome.
Other questions? Nothing? So, Mrs. Rosa, if you can leave the room, we will call you back very soon.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Male male. Male male. Ma vabbè, ce la siamo tolta. Così, va bene. Allora, stimato 101. Stimato 100, neanche 101, non ci arriva a 101. Vediamo. Importante che ce la siamo tolta. Grandissima puttana, grandissima puttana, bottana, bisogna dire anche questo. Che domande fai? Vabbè.